So, why you are here in Poland? What for?
Well, a combination of holiday and a little work for my friend Tomasz Praszkia.
What kind of work?
Well, he helps organize probably the biggest and best mineral and gem show in Poland and probably Eastern Europe, called, I think it's Agate Summer in, I got to remember the name of the town now.
Lwówek.
Lwówek, right. And so he asked me some time ago to do a photography workshop. So I will spend 2 days teaching 30 people how to photograph minerals, gems, jewelry, and fossils.
Yeah, you are a photographer, but photographer of minerals. Why minerals?
Specifically minerals, yes. Well, I've been a collector of minerals since I was about 8 years old, and they have always fascinated me. And so a long time ago, I just decided to learn to photograph them as a hobby. And many years later, when some of my other business ventures failed, I decided, well, maybe I could make a living photographing minerals. It's a very crazy idea, but it worked.
But now it's your hobby and it's your job.
Yes. I think this is the best of both worlds, when you can make a hobby, something you love, into a job and not just be bored by something you have to do just to earn money.
Mm-hmm. Is it difficult to photograph them? To make a picture of them?
Actually, it is. It's very specialized, and the subject material is very difficult because you're dealing with transparency, high degrees of reflectivity, and they're small also, and most photographers are not experienced with doing very close-up work of tiny objects that are very difficult too. So there are very few people. I'm probably the only one in the world who photographs minerals exclusively as a living.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any teacher?
Actually, not specifically, and I'm actually proud that I have never in my life taken a course in photography.
Mm-hmm. So how did you do that? How you became as a professional as you are now?
Well, my father gave me my first camera when I graduated from high school, and he had never been a professional photographer, but he had done photography ever since he was young. He was photographer for his Army unit when he was in the service, and so he knew a lot about photography. And so when he gave me my first camera, he taught me at least the basics, how the camera works and the lenses and the shutter and exposure, and he taught me also basic darkroom technique, how to process film and make prints. And then after that, I just basically studied on my own, read lots of books, looked at other photographers' work, tried to analyze how the photographs were taken, and then just did an awful lot of photography myself. So I just learned, and as far as being the professional I am today, it was... I decided a long time ago that I was going to publish as much as possible. That everywhere you looked, if you were a mineral collector or dealer or curator, that there was going to be photographs by Jeff Scovil in every book and every magazine. And because I did not have the money to become a famous collector, I was not a famous mineral dealer, I was not a famous curator, so I decided the only way to make my mark in the world of mineral collecting, which I loved, was to become a good photographer.
So, but why you love them? Why you love minerals? Why are they so special for you?
Well, minerals are... I think the first thing people see about minerals, if they see good ones, is that the crystals are so beautiful that people have a hard time imagining that something so geometric and so beautiful that resembles something they know. Cut stones, gemstones in their jewelry could actually be natural and not touched by human hands. And so they're beautiful. Colors, shapes, transparency, the forms, the luster, and the combination of minerals. And to look at these is just fascinating. So if you just look at it from a point of view of aesthetics, that's enough. But then eventually you start asking yourself, how did they become this way? Why? And then you learn about mineralogy. You learn about physics and chemistry. It doesn't have to be to a great depth, but I think the why has always been an important question for me. So then instead of just the aesthetics, it also involves your intellectual mind, right brain and left brain. Mm-hmm. So, and also there's discovery. Many mineral collectors love to go out into the field, into quarries, road cuts, out into the woods to find minerals themselves. And there's nothing like breaking apart a rock and finding inside, for the first time ever seen by human eyes, something so beautiful. And also to know that you collected it and it will go in your collection.
Mm-hmm. You didn't have any teacher, but you were a teacher for people. You teach people?
Photography, yes. I did take courses in mineralogy and geology. I actually started my studies in college as a geology major, but then switched to anthropology and archaeology.
But you don't teach them how to photograph it?
Yes, I do. I don't really teach classes per se, but I do every year at the biggest gem and mineral show in the world is the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show in Tucson, Arizona. And every year I have a seminar where I spend part of it teaching a specific technique, and then I usually have guest speakers too. So I do this every year. And also at the Tucson show, I do a mineral photography competition that I organize and do the judging on.
And now in Poland.
Right. This is actually the first workshop that I have ever given. And so that's interesting. It's in Poland, not in America and in my home country. But I write articles about photography. I write articles about mineralogy. And I do a lot of lecturing. I travel around to different clubs, to mineral shows in the United States, symposia, and speak about minerals and mineral photography. I've spoken all over the United States, in Germany, and Norway.
Mm-hmm. Now in Poland. And if you can tell me, what is your favorite mineral?
Well, one of my favorites is tourmaline. And tourmaline is
how it looks like?
It's a gem mineral, and it's interesting. It usually occurs as elongated crystals. If you looked at them in cross-section, roughly triangular. And what I love about them is that they occur... The crystal forms are not that exciting or complex as some other minerals, but the colors are amazing because they can be any color you can imagine, and sometimes many colors in a single crystal. Whereas most minerals are just one color in a single crystal. So they're just beautiful things. Another is fluorite, which again is a mineral that occurs. It's more common than tourmaline. It's not as expensive, but occurs in many different colors. And also, unlike tourmaline, it can form very complicated crystals, which can be very fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Are you happy that you're in Poland? Do you like this country? Do you like Europe?
Oh, yes. This is only my second trip to really Eastern Europe. And I always love going to new countries and learning about new cultures and seeing places I've never been. So this is fascinating for me.
Okay. Thank you.